Good just afternoon. It's September the 16th, and yeah, I have a new mic. That's the main thing today. That's one reason I'm a little later today. I knew it was coming. The last piece of cable I needed was all I needed. And then, of course, I had to see if it would work. It seems to record, so hopefully you can hear me beautifully. And I won't be let down again by mics going dead, because this one, you plug it in directly to charge it. You don't put it in a little box that then may or may not charge it. So it's just afternoon, and my plan is to do sort of what I did yesterday, only instead of Lakeview, instead of Cathedral, I'm going to go over to Lakeview and do it. But I'm actually going to start by going across the Albert Street Bridge to get into Lakeview. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 15, so it's quite cool. The breeze came up quite a bit not too long ago. Hopefully having the lapel mic will help cut some of that sound. But this is the first time I've used this mic, so see how it goes. Hello, Peter. Walking over to Lakeview. Other side of the creek. We'll go across the Albert Street Bridge to start. Then I'm going to go east-west, street by street. Probably about 4 times, and then my time will be up. And get back to work. Might go out for lunch today. You can see it's a lovely sunny spring day. Also wanted to walk by the end of this little divider here. There's a bit of a garden that people have put up down at the end, and I noticed there are even pumpkins showing in it last time I walked by. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. Somebody assure me that you can hear me. Can you hear me? This is a new mic. So if you can hear me, tell me so, please. If you can't hear me, tell me that too. Anyone? Anyone at all? This little garden here, and I noticed when I drove by earlier, there's actually a pumpkin down there. Although I don't know if it's grown there or was just placed there for... Actually, it doesn't look like it grew there. I think it was just placed there for decoration. Yay! I am heard. Now tomorrow, of course, I'll come this way to walk around the lake, which I always do on Fridays. So this is called a smart mic that I have now. It's a Bluetooth mic. I actually have 2 of them. I have a cheaper one and a more expensive one, because you need 2. One of them acts as a receiver. The other one, if you want to use it for what I'm using it for right now. If you just want to record, the mic will connect via Bluetooth, but it only connects to its own app. It doesn't connect to like the third-party apps like Prism that I'm using to live stream, or even the iPhone's own camera. So that takes a separate receiver and then a special cable, which I now have. Finally. Which means I can quit using the mic that has let me down so many times, which is called Lowinner, if you're wondering. Can't recommend it. Not the version I had anyway. They may make a higher end one that works better, I don't know. Probably going to be busy along the Albert Street here because it's lunchtime. Well, there's tomorrow's destination on the other side, the lake. There's the Albert Street Bridge with its terracotta balustrade and buffalo heads, lamps. flags. It's refurbished not that long ago, but it's showing wear again. A lot of vibration, a lot of pollution along here. Not to mention just Saskatchewan weather. Water's very blue at this time of the day. In the morning with the sun on it, it always looks more gray when the sun's just coming up. So we have First Nations, Métis, Canada flags. There's the creek, of course. Still looking very green down there. A lot of algae. Looks like pea soup right here where it comes over the... Well, partly that's because there's not much water coming over the spillway right now. The water's pretty high, so there's not a lot of flowing there. That's why the algae's building up right there. I've walked along Regina Avenue quite a bit, so I'll probably go well, that's not being very thorough though, is it? So maybe I will start on Regina Avenue. Well, no. I really have walked on it quite a bit. I think we'll go down one more block and then go west. Park there, of course. Oh, who else said hello? Somebody said hello. And as soon as I get a bit of shade, I can see who it was. Arjun, hi. There's a large campaign sign for the incumbent of this riding. I don't know what they're up to here. I had no idea that jogger was there until he went by. Lucky I didn't run into him, or he ran into me. He would have run into me because he could see me. Another campaign sign. See, we've had Conservative, Liberal. I see a People's Party up here, another Conservative, and another Liberal. Nice old houses along here, of course. I've already voted, so nobody try to change my mind. It's too late. Voted in the advance poll last weekend. Unstable internet. That's very odd along Albert Street. Okay, now we will start going east-west, or west-east. Start by going west. There's the legislative building over there, of course. This is 20th Avenue. We'll go ahead and cross since we got the light, and we'll want to eventually. Get away from some of the traffic now. I believe this was Colin Thatcher's house, where his wife was murdered. I think that's it. There's a TV movie about it. Can't remember what it was called. It's been a while now. It's a big one. Some of these are in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw. Ooh, wind chimes. Oh, they're over there. I like that one. That kind of symmetrical look with the shutters has always appealed to me, and the little half or quarter moon windows up above. Something kind of New Englandish about it. Well, actually it reminds me of the Amityville Horror, but the cover or something connected with that story. I think the house had those kind of windows on it, if I remember right, at the top. I hope the wind noise is not too bad since I have the lapel mic. It came with the little fuzzy thing you're supposed to put on it, but it doesn't fit. It's the same problem I had with the last mic. Looks like the same brand of little fuzzy thing, but the opening is too small to easily put on the mic. So, also it seems a little conspicuous to me wearing that thing. I think I've been in that backyard. I'm sure I have. For a post-Davin homeschool barbecue. Several years ago now. Alice would have been littler. And she's now 20 and at the University of Toronto. Interesting hood ornament. Metallic, which of course is our cross street on the other side of the creek down there. I've got this editing job I have to finish, and then I'll be entirely focused on the Shapers of Worlds Volume 2 anthology, which I kickstarted, that features authors who were guests during the second year of my Aurora award-winning podcast, The World Shapers, www.theworldshapers.com. I've heard back from all but 3 authors on the page proofs, and I've corrected things myself, so if I don't hear back from them, I'll just go ahead. But my plan is to get the files to the printer next week to have that printed and distributed. And then the commercial release, when anybody can buy it, is set for November 2nd. Yeah, no Pontiac. That was. Oh, hi, Tim. They recently replaced these. They've been there forever, and I thought they were kind of silly. And then they took them out, I thought. All they did was rebuild them. I mean, they're designed to slow down traffic. I get that. They're ugly. I like this house, though. Really taking up 2 lots. But as modern houses go, I like that one. You can actually pre-order the ebook version of Shapers of Worlds Volume 2. If you go to, well, you can go to my website, or you go to books2read.com. 2 is a numeral, books2read.com/Shapers of Worlds 2. Again, 2 is a numeral. And it gives links to several places where it's now available for pre-order, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indigo, all that stuff. Here's Lakeview School. Which I walked by many a time before and will walk by many a time again. Already 15 minutes in, so I suspect I'll only do this way once, back that way once, back this way once, and it'll probably be about time to head for home. Lakeview School. Yes, up there's a little room in the tower. I did. I looked up. It was on fire at one time. Oh, luckily it didn't spread, I guess. There's some good-sized sunflowers peeking up over that car. A good 10 feet tall, those things. Well, 9 anyway. They're probably 3 feet taller than me. Whew. Look up, look way up. And I'll call Rusty. That's a little reference for Canadians of a certain age who remember the Friendly Giant. I was too old for the Friendly Giant even when it was on. I thought it was kind of silly, but I do remember it. I spent several weeks in bed because of rheumatic fever when I was a kid. That's when we actually got a television for the first time in Canada. So I had to watch daytime television if I was going to watch anything, but I was already past the Friendly Giant demographic at that time. I was probably in I had to be at least in grade 4, because that was my first grade up here. Although in grade 4 I wasn't 8, I was 7, or other way around, I wasn't 9, I was 8, I guess, yeah. So it must have been the first year we were up here, actually, that I had rheumatic fever, or maybe the second. I don't remember now. I had a new house that kind of night. Because we moved up here from Texas when I was 8. I started in grade 4, so maybe I was 9. I could have been 10 even when I had rheumatic fever. So I was definitely past the Friendly Giant demographic, which was more preschooler. That and romper room. I was way past romper room. I don't know what they're doing over here, other than moving dirt around. Hi, Miriam. We got India, we got Vancouver, we got Toronto. I don't know where else. And if you're just joining me, I have a new microphone, so my voice should be good and clear with not too much disruption from wind and so forth. Also, this one hopefully will not suddenly die on me in the middle of a walk. I can keep it charged and know that it's been charged. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. I mean, the other side over there is the skating rink, outdoor rink, but I don't know what they're digging here. Surely not a pool. That'd be an odd thing to go there. Lakeview Park. I suppose they could be putting in something like a spray park or something. Guess we'll find out over time. We'll go down McCallum here. back to Albert Street. Howdy Doody I know of, never actually saw a program. We had a TV, but it wasn't a very good TV, even in Texas before we moved up here. It broke on the trip, and then we didn't get one until, as I said, I was bedridden. I had to stay in bed with rheumatic fever, so maybe that's why I was such a big reader. Didn't have TV to speak of, and even when we did, you only got 2 channels, and one of them was fuzzy. Not where we lived, in North Weyburn. That's Lakeview United Church. I was just there last night, rehearsing for an upcoming show called wait, it'll come to me. Guilty Pleasures, that's what it's called. With Regina lyric singers. It's a show of songs that stick in your head, whether you want them to or not. One of my solos, just a short piece. My big solo is going to be California Dreaming. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. That one. But I also have a couple of things in the TV medleys. And one of them is, since my name is Ed, a horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you'll endorse. He's always honest, Ed. Of course, is the famous Mr. Ed. That one. Nice new one. That's for sale, too. If you're looking, right there. I keep joking that I should talk to... and there's Lakeview School Playground now. See, it's starting to look more and more like fall along here. I keep joking that I should talk to real estate agents about doing walks around the neighborhoods of places they have for sale. Maybe they'd pay me. I do know a real estate or a realtor or two. I should ask them what they think of that idea. It's not entirely nuts. I'm doing the walks anyway. Wouldn't charge much. Not compared to what they get for selling a house, anyway. I'm watching this one get built. It's got a lot of glass in those windows. I hope they're well insulated windows. And this is a fairly new one, but and an older traditional look to it. I like that. In school zone, so I can speed up from 30 kilometers an hour. Hello, walking girl. Let's see, I think you're in France, so it gives us about 3 continents now. Now I've got the Mr. Ed theme song stuck in my head. I shouldn't have sung it. Nice houses along McCallum. It was one of the main roads in this neighborhood. This was kind of the posh neighborhood right from the beginning in Regina. So it has lots of big old houses in it. I would think that's actually a new one. But again, it's one that kind of looks like it might have been here a long time. And it could have been. It could have just been renovated. I don't know. I like that half-timbered look. Oh, I missed that, Miriam. Happy birthday, I guess. I only saw a little bit of what you said because of the sun. So, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miriam. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I like that one just because it's lit up by the sun. Advantage of being old, I guess. More memories. Over there is the doll's house. It's often called the little white and pink one with the very steep roof. It was built by an architect for his daughter as a wedding present. It's now heritage property. I've never been inside it. See, it's not very big. It'd be very interesting to know what the layout is. On the other hand, here's a brand new one over here. Yeah, it's called the doll's house. Very interesting windows. Try not to fall off a curb as I'm walking and trying to read what's been written. What does that say? Maybe it comes from being a stage actor. You have to be able to talk and move at the same time. Especially in musicals, you have to sing and dance and talk at the same time. Well, not sing and talk at the same time. Do you know what I mean? There's another newish one, big one. And then a more traditional one next to it. Oh, that one I like too, with the kind of Spanish look to it. Almost back to Albert Street. That's a big house there, but it's not a house. It hasn't been for a long time. It's been various things. It was a group home, and I think now it might have condos in it or apartments. I don't know. It's a big house. I've been in this one at some point. I don't remember why. Don't want to walk into those either. There, get a better look at that one. And then this one, part of it is old, and a lot of it was added, so now it's quite huge. This big porch and the balustrade, big metal gate, and this huge windows down at this end. Most of that is new-ish. There's another interesting one over there, but you can't really see it through the trees. Nice garden in front, though. I've been in this one too. It's one of the brick houses, of which I'm always surprised we don't have more. And of course, there's the Saskatchewan legislature again, showing up through the above the trees. We're back on Albert Street. There's the front of that brick house. A lot of the houses along here try to have lots of trees and things in front to cut down the sound of the traffic. When they were built, Albert Street would have been much quieter than it is now, obviously. There's several nice houses along here. Actually, no, my wife is an engineer. I mean, she does have an arts background. We met doing musical theater. But, so she's always been interested in, music and all that stuff, and art. But her actual career is as an engineer. She's past president of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, in fact. And she works for SaskTel, the provincial telephone company. Good career move for a freelance writer to marry an engineer. She hates that joke, but it's quite true. course, I wrote the history of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, called A Safe and Prosperous Future, 100 Years of Engineering and Geoscience Achievements in Saskatchewan. That's one of my longest titles. Okay, now we'll go down 21st. When I get to the end, I might just head back to the creek and home. Or I might do one more this way. Although that might drag this out a bit more than I really want to, because I have things to do, lunches to have. I'd say people to see, but not really. I've done a walk down here through the alleys, which is always fun. Bold color on that one. Kind of a slate gray and then the orange door. Big one over here. Big one over there. It has a turret. I like turrets. They remind me of castles. I like castles. Comes from being a fantasy writer. See? A turret. Well, of course, I do sing, and I've done it professionally and performed professionally, but that's not my main thing by any means. Writing is my main thing. I do the other when it comes along, but I haven't pursued it as a career, really. I prefer a more settled life than that of a stage actor. Even if you get work, it's 6 weeks at a time. Could be anywhere in the country or anywhere, so it's very hard to have a settled life. Or a dog, or a cat, or a family. That's why actors are always so happy to get long-running TV series, get some stability. Or a long-running stage production, but out here, nothing runs longer than about 6 weeks. Then you get a couple of weeks rehearsal before that, so if you're lucky, 2 months. If you're really lucky, 2.5 months work. And then you have to be looking for something else or have something else lined up, or you're working at a Starbucks or something like that. Yeah, if I weren't married, I might have pursued it more because, of course, I can write and perform at the same time. One of the few professional shows I did was Beauty and the Beast, the musical up in Saskatoon. And I was actually writing my my third book for Daw Books, Terra Insegura, at that time. So if you get that book, which I recommend you do, although you should probably read Mar Seguro, the first one, first. Several of the characters are named after actors who appeared in Beauty and the Beast at Persephone Theatre in Saskatoon in 2007. Because it was Christmas 2007 we did that show. I think I've done one professional show since then, so not exactly a high income portion of my career. I've done a lot of performing just for fun, but I've only done, I think, one professional show since then. I am a member of Canadian Actors Equity. I've directed some things. Also, that's under an equity contract as well. But they weren't professional productions, but I got paid a modicum for those as an equity director. Two of them were ones I wrote, so kind of combining the two things. One of which you can find on my YouTube channel, The Music Shop. There's a complete recording of it on my YouTube channel. And you can, of course, find me singing on my YouTube channel as well. including doing How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria from The Sound of Music. All 4 parts, all 4 nuns. If you count those each as a separate woman, I've portrayed, let me think, 7 different women on stage. There's the 4 nuns. I was Queen Victoria once. Very, very large Queen Victoria. It was not intended to be taken seriously. There's a ballet called The Female Gardée, The Badly Guarded Daughter, where the mother of the badly guarded daughter is always portrayed by a man. I did that. And then in Billy Bishop Goes to War, which I did a few productions of, which is a one-man show, there is, actually maybe there's 2 women in there now that I think about it. So maybe it's 8. I have a picture of myself in drag as the mother from The Female Gardée, which I like to show to people at science fiction conventions. It's just to show that there's more to me than they might think. This one has sold. It's kind of a nice porch area there. This tree is a little lower than I am tall. Let me check my time here. I think I'll head home from the next corner. I don't think I'm a very believable woman, but I'm a very large woman. Which is part of the gag, of course. In the case of La Female Gardée, one reason it's portrayed by a man is because, and this thing goes back to the, I don't know, maybe the 18th century, is because you have to be able to pick up the ballerina. So it has to be somebody fairly large. All right. We'll head now back towards the park and the bridge and home. I guess I could still go over one more block. Depends on which way I want to go when I get down here. And I'm going to go have lunch. They're temporarily reintroducing a mask mandate tomorrow. Today I can go and eat lunch and I don't even have to wear a mask to get to my table. So it's a good day to go do that. Ah, I got something in my eye. Oh, that's a bad one. What? Watch out for that. Sorry, I really can't read anything at the moment. My eyes are blurry because of dust in my eyes. Maybe I can now. Oh, here's where we are. Okay, I guess I should have gone one more block, but then we'd just be walking back along a street we already walked along, so I'll go this way instead. Because there's the church again. Well, and the grand piano was kind of the inspiration for the first show that I wrote and directed for Regina Lyric Musical Theatre, which was called as time goes by, a love story with music and ghosts. Because it was about a guy who inherits his piano and comes back and inherits his aunt's house, and he comes back and she's still there for reasons explained in the story. And he's like a nightclub performer. He's trying to come up with a new act, and he ends up using all this old music that he finds in the house. That was all very much based on our old piano and the piano bench that was full of music going back to the 40s and 50s that Margaret Ann's grandmother used to get from Patton's, I think it's called. Patton's Music. So the main music store in town. And she'd get together with Helen Jolly, who was the head nurse at the Regina General Hospital at the time. And they would play through and sing the sheet music. Most of it's in pristine condition. So that was kind of the inspiration for the first one. And then a piano played a prominent role in the music shop. And so did the idea of Hatton's, this old music store. The idea was that there was this music shop, and this one woman has run it for, forever. Everybody thinks it was her grandmother and then her mother and now her, but in fact it's always been her, because there's a magical automaton piano player in there who can play anything that's put on the piano in front of him. And she has to find a new keeper as her 100 years runs up, or he will run down and the music store will go away. And part of the magic of this is that when people sing with this piano, they learn things about themselves and their relationships. So that's the music shop. And there was first of all, I liked the idea, obviously, I wrote it, but there was a very practical reason for the piano idea being the center of it, because at the little theater we did it in, over at the McKinsey Art Gallery, they have a grand piano, but you can't be moving that around. We didn't want to try to get it down on the ground floor off the stage, so it became the centerpiece. And the guy who was our piano player and played this automaton piano player, Ben Redan, who was also the music director, sat there at the piano through the whole show. They carried him in and out at intermission, or rolled him in and out so that he didn't spoil the illusion. It was great fun. I think it went really well. It got copyright strikes on it, of course, when I posted it to Amazon, because it uses existing music. And we performed it under this license where you report what songs you did and money gets sent to the copyright holders. But for putting it on Amazon, the only thing that meant, though, was that I can't make any money off of it. Well, I wasn't expecting to anyway. I think it's been watched like 70 times, so it wasn't going to make me any money anyway. Maybe this channel will sometime, these live walks. I only need another 860 some subscribers, and if enough time had been spent watching it as well, I could start making money off of this. So tell your friends. They don't have to watch it. They just have to subscribe to it. I mean, it'd be nice if they watched it too. Okay, now we're back on Regina Avenue. We'll go over here and get the footbridge, walk down the dike, and home before you know it. Ooh. Lots of berries on that one. I might be a bit under an hour on this, but I'm still a few minutes from home, so it won't be too far under. Tomorrow, of course, is the traditional walk around Wascana Lake. First time with a new mic. I'll be interested myself to get home and listen to the recording and see how well this mic is working. I certainly like it better than the one that kept failing on me, but not just because of it kept failing on me, but I just like the design better. It's a bit clunkier on the interface where it plugs into the phone because there's a couple of cables there, short cables, but it's not too bad. All right, across Regina Avenue and across the footbridge. There's the creek. The traditional stop and look at the creek in both directions. Looking east, looking west. We'll go along the dike. Which, as I've noted, they trimmed down all these bushes a while ago. They were quite tall. Thank you for sharing your music. They're already growing up again, but I presume that was to allow people over there to see the dike over here. So it wasn't just a hidden tunnel where bad things might potentially happen. I think it was a huge likelihood, but you never know in a city. I haven't gone down these steps recently, so I think I'll go this way today. Carefully, because I can't use the hand railing because that's the side I'm holding the camera on. Back in the spring, I remember this tree was covered with white flowers, and now it's covered with berries. Is it some sort of cherry tree? Oh, I think maybe it is. Those look like cherries. It had white flowers, not pink ones, so I wasn't sure about that. Those sure look like cherries. Probably very sour cherries. More fall trees. Whoop. I don't know what that question is. We'll go this way. I still don't know what that tracker is. What that question is, FIDUS tracker? I don't know what you're asking. It has not come across clearly. couple of more blocks this way. Whoop, and won't wait till that car goes by. Hello. Car didn't go by. He must have been parking or turning around, I guess. It's the house with the little Bavarian look to it that I like. Turret. Remember, I like turrets. It's a good turret. Go up here and stop at the usual stop sign. Be a little under an hour, but reasonable length for this first walk with the new microphone. Tomorrow, around the lake. Some sort of landscaping going on over there. Has been for a few days now. The name never came across, but I don't think so, because maybe I would have recognized it if I did. So I would say no. And that's it. So thanks for walking with me. Join me tomorrow for the walk around the lake. That'll probably be first thing in the morning. Bye for now.